Greetings, I'm Liz.
And I am Scandal.
And let's remember what position our characters are in, please!
Oh God, we're
Together.
dead. Together.
Okay, so
all is one is all.
Right, if you're coming from the last episode, we're thrown over Phoenix's shoulder. And as far as we know, that hasn't changed as he's carried us into the royal suite because we haven't ever started participating or changed this established order. And he just flops over onto the king-size bed.
Yep.
But he doesn't drop us or let go of us or release us onto the bed. He just drops down. And we're just going to have like a moment where we just jam our elbow into his back.
In little Fiona's bedroom. Because honestly, that's what I thought.
It does look like Fiona's bedroom.
This looks like Fiona's bedroom from Shrek 2.
From Shrek 2 it does.
Oh my God, I've been dying.
Hang on.
Us, we're smaller.
This is a big bed. The only reason he says that is because he's used to having it filled with so many people. So it seems big because there's just you and him, not 16 people in his harem.
Don't believe it.
Nope. Okay. Like, one, that is not a king-size bed. Two, why would he say this is a big bed? Do you not have beds in the dragon world? Everyone in the entire Fire Kingdom sleeps on a utilitarian cot. Period. That's it.
Sounds weird.
All of them. Unified culture, don't you know? Cultures that are not your own have completely unified beliefs.
I'm concerned. I really am just waiting, though, for, like, the drama of Phoenix to sort of pop up suddenly.
Because he's super chill.
The supreme angst will just appear.
And then we'll go,
like, what?
Grateful. This is a really big bed. Grateful. You're squishing me under your damn shoulder. Us, elbow against his back, just in desperation. Please stop squishing me. Sleeping? Phoenix, what am I doing here? I'm in my work clothes. I'm disgusting from a double shift. I haven't showered. I haven't changed. I don't have a change of clothes. You've kidnapped me. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm overwhelmed. What are we doing? I also was complacent letting you get me here because I'm just too tired for all this nonsense.
Nonsense!
He sits up, releasing me from underneath him, looking me over with a nod of approval. I am disgusting. Looking beautiful as ever is what? And gross.
I have coffee.
Do you realize I have grease and coffee and sweat and like sugar stains from like pastries knocked against me? I have oil spilled on. From the grease fryer.
Phoenix, I know what to do about that. They have Dawn dish soap here. I'm gonna go get some Dawn. Hang on.
We'll just put you in the bathtub with Dawn. We'll scrub you. It'll be great.
You won't have any more.
You'll be clean. Your clothes will be clean. You feel great. It's fine.
No, Phoenix.
You know what I mean. Why did you kidnap me? Because they interrupted my damn surprise this morning where I was going to do something nice for you like they did and have a moment. And you know what? They both decided they're shirking their responsibility for us to all support each other because they're all panicking and paranoid. I am not panicking. I got a plan. It's fine. Tradition. It's before it is the wedding night.
Tradition!
Tradition. In the Fire Kingdom, it's customary to kidnap the bride a few days before her wedding. That's really cute.
Honestly,
though.
I think I've heard of stuff like that.
No, I have.
Usually it's like, you should warn people.
Actually, like Jewish weddings?
Right.
Historically, because I have a friend who had a traditional Jewish wedding, and they talked about going and stealing the bride, and taking her away from her family, and like kidnapping her the night before, and then helping her prep for being the bride kind of thing.
That's cute.
And then you just have the whole brooms party run off, kidnap the bride from the other room, and bring her in kind of thing for the ceremony. Super cute.
That's adorable.
I was gonna say he didn't actually do that in his wedding. Like he didn't have them kidnap her actually, but I was hoping he would, but they read the passage nonetheless.
Aww.
It was super cute. And if you're listening to this, it was a cute wedding. I liked it. All right, anyway, so kidnap the bride days before the wedding. So in some cultures, I've totally seen that. But also, while I think this is kind of cute and fun, I'm also he still didn't ask. He needed to.
Yes.
She's not participating in this piece of culture unless she has consent. It's to hide her from the other suitors who might try to whisk her away before the wedding. Okay, they're we are vicious in the Fire Kingdom. It's amazing. You see, you like somebody, and as soon as you get engaged to them, everyone goes, they must be super good because they're engaged, and they all try and steal them, and it's this grand, fun fight to keep them away from everyone else. She loves it, he loves it, everyone else loves it. They're all there trying to foil you the whole time and be more romantic, and she just falls more and more in love with you because she's like, you're working so hard to protect me and keep track of me, and we're fighting them off together. It's great. Does that sound like fun?
It sounds exhausting. I'm so tired,
Sounds
though.
like I just want to go to sleep. Usually the kidnapping is done by friends, the bride and groom, but
Yeah,
you know,
like-
which is accurate to again a
I was
Jewish
about to
wedding.
say, is this supposed to be a Jewish wedding reference?
All of the fire dragons are Jewish.
They're yarmulkes, but
I
you
love
just
it.
can't see them.
He's like, yeah, totally got a yarmulke on up here. Like the whole time. What's your problem?
Huh? What?
That's
Of course.
amazing.
That'd be really cute.
I would be super
honestly.
cute. I'm also going, and that's the tradition that carried over from your world back to our world, or from our world over to your world. What direction cultural sharing is this? I need to know.
Or it's multi-directional, you never know.
But
Sometimes-
also going like, did they have Jesus
Or-
in their world? Because that's
But
what
they-
you have to ultimately ask.
No, because Jesus is Christian, not Jewish.
He doesn't exist in the Jewish
No,
religion?
he does exist, but he's not that kind of influential type of figure. He's a prophet, not seen as
So
like
if
son of
Jesus
God.
didn't exist at all, would Jewish faith still exist completely?
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't know it started before Jesus. My bad.
Holy crap! Oh yeah,
Okay.
Jesus was Jewish.
I know he was Jewish, but like okay. So like
Wow!
so I had a really bad Christian upbringing, okay? And basically the idea
Everything's
was
about
that,
Jesus,
that
I
there
know.
was Jewish that was a culture back before Jesus, and then that Jewish
No.
religion started. He wasn't a god, he was just a prophet. And like I don't know. I'm out of date.
Wow!
I'm really
Okay,
bad.
that's fine. Like, whoa, it's okay. I will sit on my friend later.
Okay,
It's
so
fine.
do they have enough of like this enough history, I guess, to be like in line with the same beliefs, whatever those beliefs are?
We have no idea. Honestly, considering the fact that apparently nobody knows about the dragons anyway, you could very easily just basically have, I think what they call convergent evolution.
Okay.
So you could have some
They
sort of
both
like
came up with
convergent,
similar beliefs.
Similar beliefs.
Okay,
But also,
interesting.
because again, I don't want to take that away from cultures. Like, I think that's actually one of the things sometimes that bugs me about where people will try to tell stories about other cultures and then go, it was aliens that did it. You're like, yeah,
Right, you're
but
like,
they don't
no.
do it when it's white people.
Oh God!
You know?
Aliens haven't come along and made the white people build amazing things. Only other cultures with different colored skin,
I know.
except for the Stonehenge.
Right?
We have
Which again,
one-
though, is mostly where people go believe that that's typically a white person thing, because
Like I
that's
said,
in the UK
I was just saying. So you have that associated.
or on the British Isles or something. I don't know. I
I
don't
thought
care.
it was like Scottish or something.
I
Irish
don't
anyway.
care. It's
somewhere
in that
there.
area.
It's in a white people area with skin tone anyway.
And typically.
Right, but
doesn't
anyway.
mean though that again. That's the other thing that I thought was really funny. Where everybody's like, "Oh, you never had people who had colored skin." You're like, "You are crazy."
Oh
Why
my
do you
God.
think ports exist? Because people
nope.
travel around.
People traveled all over the world and they only saw themselves and nothing else. And nobody ever.
I mean, if you keep at it,
No, no.
eventually you're just gonna only see yourself.
the port, the port, the ship comes to their port, and nobody gets on or off it. They're just like,
No.
look, there's another country, and then they leave again. That was traveling the world.
Huh?
We just picked up, rugs and spices from no one in particular.
Yep,
and
nobody.
just sailed back home
We
again.
just saw camels. They were just on the side of the riverbanks.
That's all.
And they just had stuff on them from someone.
We just
who
left
knows?
our stuff, and then we took their stuff. It was fine.
We had a great exchange system.
It was perfect.
The
All right,
invisible
so,
people.
by the friends of the bride and groom. I'm sorry for my ignorance. I apologize.
I'm like, wow.
I was not raised that way at all.
It's okay.
Period.
I don't even know. I guess you could say I dated somebody that was Jewish too. So it's like totally had beliefs way before Christ.
Which is great. I don't know what those are.
it's okay.
Again, like the Christian faith always relates theirs to they do Christ and food differently. And it's super, super dismissive.
Except
At least the way I was raised. That doesn't
That's
mean
right.
all Christians. Not all Christians.
not all Christians. Like my upbringing
Alright.
definitely being,
But
not all
since we're in the
Mormons, but
human
still.
world, you only have me. I couldn't summon my dragon friends to come kidnap you because
I have to go get my harem.
So I did it myself. God,
Yeah.
it would have been great. You would have loved it. My whole harem would have shown up at your coffee shop. They'd have put you on a plankin. They'd have walked you all the way here through the market square and through the streets and everything, singing your praises. It would have been great.
I mean, awesome. And we
I
will
mean-
all defend you.
I mean, yeah, they would be great.
From
They're
any
and
potential
they would have
suitor.
had, they would have had the
And
swords.
then Ryan
they had
Dillon.
torches blazing.
God
They
damn
would
it.
have chased off the
Phoenix.
other boys. It'd be great.
That'd be awesome.
So I thought I'd do it myself. That's again, it's kind of charming.
It is.
No way was I going to let Dylan and Rye get their hands on you. At least not tonight, because they've already gotten their hands on you twice for the date that I didn't get. We were trying to do a round robin thing. We were all fair and we're all taking turns. And then they've just decided like they're desperate or something. And so
And
it's just
also,
like,
they
I'm
have
not
so
going to be
much
desperate,
angst.
but I am going to be fair. That's it, okay? The determined tone of his voice makes me flush. Oh, culture. Culture, I see culture,
Right,
of course.
culture.
It's a culture, it's a ritual.
Oh, it's a
right?
ritual.
Uh-huh,
Wow,
aye.
the rituals.
And what happens to the bride after she's kidnapped? She's placed in a safe, remote location, like this hotel room. We're on like the 100th floor, didn't you know?
Super awesome.
It's really remote compared to the ground floor.
It looks a lot like a little girl's bedroom, but I don't know.
That's fine. I don't actually have any context for what this looks like, but I've been staying here for the whole week that I've been trying to romance you. I figured I would kidnap you here if I did, and it just also like, I like to be close to the sky. It reminds me of flying, which I haven't done since I've been here. It makes me sad. But I stand out on the balcony a lot. It's good.
It's a good time.
It's good. It feels.
I had to remember to put that on closed before though. Somebody got mad at me.
One of the neighbours was really grumpy when they came out on their, balcony beside mine, and they were just like, "Oh my God, it's a naked man." But it was fine. We figured it out.
It was fine. We got it.
Right. Where she's not allowed to leave for 3 days and 3 nights. Oh, what? Don't worry. I'll go easy on you. It's just for show. Aye. For you, I've shortened it to 1 night. Just because it's really a symbolism thing, okay? We're not actually doing it. It's a symbolism thing, right? Okay? Because you're not actually engaged to me. I'm just romancing you. Right. Okay. So symbolism.
Why can't you give me more context? Let's tell
Sure.
stories.
Talk to me about the history of this ritual. Talk to me about how it was developed. Talk to me about what it's usually like. Has it ever
Phoenix.
happened to any of your relatives?
Stares at her. You've never asked questions like this at all ever in the entire experience.
Hot as hell. I love it.
It's brilliant.
Oh my God, he's so intense right now.
That's wild.
I will tell you stories with great passion and enthusiasm.
Yes!
I've never been so worked up the entire time I've known you. Yes!
You're finally
It's
asking questions!
Amazingly theatrical plays, things out
Dylan
real.
somewhere plays the smallest violin, and you didn't ask me.
No.
Right. Oh my God.
Right, I did you ask questions. I learned about your world so you wouldn't have to. See, alright, so...
I's better!
Uh-huh.
Dylan. It's almost like all Small cares about is her own
You
world.
mean I have to share this gigantic, huge-ass room with you on a king-size bed? Do you know you can actually put 3 people on some king-size beds and they don't even touch each other when they're sleeping? Like,
yeah.
it's not like sharing a bed is a really big deal. It can be like sharing a soft floor. Some of them are so big.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it's a thing.
You guys are
Anyway.
weak.
Also, you shared a campsite and a sleeping bag with him. Why is this so bad?
Because the writers don't like Phoenix.
It seems.
I swear most of the angst in relation to Phoenix is just really frustrating.
Just
I'm
for
just
one
like,
night. I want him to be like, I went out and bought real human pajamas for it. Look at this. They have dragons on them like yours, huh?
He's like, I also got pizza.
Also, I ordered pizza. I figured out I asked Rye how to order pizza.
I've ordered pizza,
it's
and
on its
I
way.
got Netflix.
Okay, and your grandpa showed me about Netflix. So we'll have Netflix and pizza, and they call it chill. It's not gonna be that cold, but they call it chill. So
Netflix and
I
chill.
can get you ice if you want.
Netflix and heat.
And warm.
Spice.
And warm.
And
Netflix
hot.
and toasty. That's what we're gonna do.
Netflix and toast.
Netflix and toast, like when we slept on the toast. Back when we were stuck. You know what? Let's flash back to when we were stuck and locked into the the little cafe, and you were gonna have to sleep on the toast. It'd be
was
like
great.
that, Netflix and
I'd be like,
toast.
why?
Don't we have so much nostalgia together?
I'm really like, I keep trying to figure out like exactly what they're trying to do with Phoenix, because even for me, I'm like, you're not really describing him as being like sexy or attractive, or like again, the thing that we've pointed actually out before was that these characters are weirdly like, as much as there's implied
Hot.
sexual stuff going
Or
on, or
implied
sexual
hotness.
tension, or like like hotness.
Like the
there's
game-
no explicit like descriptors. Or like
They're not really painted or framed in a way as like Small thinking they're particularly sexy or having a lot of sexual tension going on. Like it's
even
really
though they
more
seem
like,
to be jumping ahead to, that's clearly what it means, and that's clearly what's there.
right,
but
had
they're
the
not
most,
really
like
interacting
overt
with it.
one of like a growl into your face kind of thing,
Right?
which is a very tropey expression of sexuality.
Right?
Growling into your face. It sounds gross, so great when you say it like that. Someone just grabs your face, growls into your throat. You're like, oh, the hottest.
Dude,
Whoa.
I can totally taste. What did you have
Why,
for
whoa.
breakfast?
That is amazing breath mint. I feel like my breath is clean. Wow, what
Wow,
was that?
what was that?
Is that Altoids, I think? Wow.
Hi. Burn your friends' faces up.
Hashtag not endorsed by Altoids.
Yeah, that's true.
Just for one night. I don't think that's such a good idea. Again, I'm really gross. I just worked all day and I'm in my work clothes. Who else fills me here? I know sometimes you're just so exhausted you don't really do a lot. And I have done that thing where I've worked a 16-hour shift one day, done all of my homework in college, slept 2 hours in the same clothes I was in and got up and gone to work again. But it's not very common, okay? Like for the most part. And I did change my clothes in the morning. Like I slept in the gross clothes and I didn't shower, but I changed everything in the morning to just for the cursory trying to be better, you know?
You're trying. I need to sleep.
You just 2 hours of sleep as opposed to an hour and 40 minutes of sleep is a huge difference. Like, holy crap. All right, anyway, I don't think that's such a good idea. Just relax. I don't care that you're disgusting. Only you do.
It's
Huh. There won't be any funny business. Just like in the sleeping bag. Was I not a total gentleman when you were in the sleeping bag, shoved up against me, slapping me awake
Again,
because, you
I'm
know,
like weird
you needed
levels-
to know what I was saying.
right. I was also though like weird levels of like consent and non-consent. And again, you can totally do stories like this. I think that's fine. Also, obviously, there are complete consenting adults, and there are also I guess it's a complicated like conversation to have, but sometimes there are kids who that's the thing they're playing.
Now,
is that
in
they are kind
theory-
of playing basically at non-consent, which
Right.
is a thing though that you're consenting to doing. Like
Right.
you can have consenting individuals who are involved in doing non-consent play.
Or
So this-
questionable, like
right.
things that look questionable from the outside. However, in this
Right.
case, like Small should, as far as I can tell, Small should still be able to say no.
right.
Like she's not, but she should be able to.
Right.
Now she's very overwhelmed at this point, so she's probably would be in
But-
like a compromised state of not being very assertive as she usually is.
Again, I don't like the way they're trying to do this because it's like I get where this could be really cute, this could be fun, this could be playful, this could be whatever. But what starts getting under my skin basically is actually kind of Small in this case. Like of going like I would like to learn or know more about Phoenix. I guess as this game has gone on, I will totally own up that I have become more and more soft towards Phoenix. But I also feel like again he's one of the ones who's most obviously out in regards to the love interests when this game like comes like right down to brass tacks, right? When you get right down to the nitty gritty. Phoenix is probably the one who's most likely going to be out pretty fast in regards to your player, your player and your player character.
Like he's the one that's been sort of basically knocked out of the running.
Right.
Yeah, I say, and
they're like, oh, you have equal chances. And I'm like, there's no chance here at all. You're basically already writing him as being incredibly invasive, incredibly whatever, unless somebody's like, that is explicitly what I'm going for, and that's fine.
But again,
You know,
Small has never warmed up to him. Small has never decided this is endearing or kind of charming. Now she's gone back, and when she remembered about him and basically his nature, she's like, I remember and think about you fondly, in the whole grayscale, let's catalog people's traits weirdly.
But that's also where I'm like,
But I'm like,
seems like...
but it didn't go, his spontaneity is just charms me. Even though he's overwhelming sometimes, or even though he just grabs me without saying anything, overall, I feel like he means no harm and it isn't hurting me.
Right?
Like, it's never been there, like getting in Small's head, going, where do you stand on his behavior?
It's...
Other than, we seem to consistently not like it.
right? Which is frustrating.
Also, again, he's been perfectly what you would call a gentleman, based on us smooshed up against him sleeping in a sleeping bag.
Right? Even though he has been also weirdly at the same time incredibly dismissive, sort of physically aggressive kind of thing.
Again, that thing
I'm
though-
like, what are you going for? I'm like, you want to go for somebody who's more basically like, again, I'm like, pick sexy then. But they're like,
like,
but then we
again-
couldn't have as many people playing this game because he
Like,
would be too sexual.
He's physically direct and physically aggressive, but he's not like pushing as far as sexual is concerned.
Right?
Like verbally he is, but physically he's really not, as far
Right.
as I've noticed. He hasn't forced you into things physically.
I mean, picking you up is one thing.
No, sexual things physically.
Oh, well, I feel like though that's just kind of one step that you could start going too far into it though. Like you really could like go from that's
He
the thing.
could, but the thing is they keep implying that he's super sexual and inappropriate through his
Right.
language, and then with his boundaries, sure, he is violating your space. Yes, I'm not
Yeah,
saying that's okay,
okay.
but he's not pushing it sexually,
Yeah.
which is at odds, I feel, with how they're painting him.
Right?
Again. Like it
Well,
feels
that's again
weird.
where I'm like, just pick that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Lays on the bed next to you. I'll even sleep on the couch. Like,
I
is there the couch? It's a giant room. I couldn't see to the other side if there was a couch.
right?
He pauses, curiosity sparking in his eye. In his eye? One eye. Just one.
One.
Unless the only two options in the entire world are him on the couch and you on the bed, or you in his arms.
I'm also like,
There's
they were
no middle
so
ground, there's no variation, there's no anything.
desperate that we have to actually go on this date then with Phoenix
Uh-huh.
because we get to choose the other ones for the most part.
A little bit.
Like we could cut them off early or whatever. I'm like, I don't.
This one, you're spending all night with him no matter what.
Yep.
Like, there is, unless you hit the option and it goes, shut it down and go home,
Right.
or sleep in his arms.
Right.
Like, unless it does that,
I think.
unless you like to sleep in my arms tonight, says a little awkward, but is that what you want, Small?
I get
Because
it.
that would be, okay. Give him the couch share. Yeah, you're not leaving. Like,
Yeah.
you had, you could disengage from both Rye and Dylan, from what I remember.
Except for
like,
the
and
fact,
the date would
again-
end, but you're in a building with him, this doesn't end.
So the big thing though too is that you more or less had more of a consensual lead up to the stuff with Rye and the stuff with Dylan. So maybe in that way, that's like, yeah, okay, so we didn't have any choice with them, honestly. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, we really didn't have a choice, as it were. It was but your character was way more interested.
But
With
also-
Phoenix, this really is I'm trying to aggressively like grump about this, get away from it. I don't like
Again,
this.
though, you could end it with them because you weren't in a captive situation. So you could end it with them, like, when the choice came up with it, it was over and you walked away. You can't walk away from this. Even if you don't choose to be with him, you're stuck in this room. which to me feels different. At any rate, we're going to wrap this up right here.
I guess we're going to have to find out what we're going to do in the next
episode.
So if you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon. We've got some links in the description down below. So if you want to support us, that would be super awesome.
Yep.
And other than that, though, I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies. And it was great playing with you. Bye!